my goodness, I am so excited about this tutorial. Yes, I am going to be building a funnel right before your eyes inside of Clickfunnels so that you can see how we have created a 6 figures a month business because of the tools that we use, especially Clickfunnels. Clickfunnels is one of my favorite tools. I have grown an incredibly successful business because of the tools that I use, and Clickfunnels is one of those tools. I just absolutely love it. Now, this video that you're watching right now is part of a whole series for how to create sales systems and sales funnels inside of Clickfunnels. So we're going to be linking out to the other videos below this one. So make sure that you check out the full length video where I'm going to be walking you through how to build funnels, etc. Not only that, if you watch this and you don't have a Clickfunnels account, I have created an incredible bonus for you worth $997. So check out the link below this video for how to access that bonus. So if you want to see more tutorials like this, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and turn on your bell, because we publish 3 times a week and I create in-depth tutorials such as the one that you are seeing right now. So do me a favor, as I'm really working hard on growing this channel, subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up and turn on your bell so that YouTube will push this video to other people to see. So let's dive into the tutorial. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff and actually build a funnel. So to begin building a funnel, you go over here to where it says Clickfunnels. You hit the drop down and you go to build funnel over here. So when we get here, there are so many things that we can do. So Clickfunnels gives us 3 different options for, what our goal is. So Clickfunnels is asking us to choose a goal. So if your goal is to collect emails, that means that you need to have some sort of lead magnet. You need an opt-in page and you are going to be doing some lead generation, then you choose this one. However, if you plan to sell a product, it could be a physical product, it could be a digital product, it really doesn't matter, then you choose this one. If you're planning to host a webinar, it could be a live webinar or even an automated webinar, then you choose this one. And if you want to just start from scratch, you can click over here to create a custom funnel, in which case you pop in the name and select a tag for your funnel. But let's go back, because one of the things that I recommend is that as you are first getting started, it is much better not to start building a custom funnel, just start with one of their templates. So speaking of their templates, let's have a look at some of the pre-built templates that you get with Clickfunnels. So I'm going to click X over here to close this. Let's scroll down to see. So over on the left hand side here, it's actually been split up into various industries. So if you are an author, speaker, coach, or consultant, you can just tick here and it will show you some of the funnels that apply to you. If you are doing B2B, you can click here and it will, can you see it shows you the funnels that apply to you. If you are in network marketing, again, you have network marketing funnels that apply to you. And again, you have types of funnels by generating leads or selling a product or creating an event, and you can click those and it will show you the funnels that are available to you. So if we have a look at this, let's look at a really simple one. Let's look at, in case we want to generate a lead. The beautiful thing about this is that you can absolutely choose any of these funnels to begin working with. Another thing to note, and if we go back to the various types of funnels we can have, Clickfunnels actually shows you the exact steps that you need. So let's say you wanted to just collect emails. If you click on choose over here, it shows you exactly what you need. It says that you need 2 funnel steps. You need an email landing page and you also need a thank you page. So that's in fact, this is one of the easiest funnels you can build, just a lead generation funnel. If we go back and you want to sell a product over here, if we choose over here, then you need 4 different steps. You need a landing page, you need a free video page, which would be also a sales page, and then over here you need an order page and then a thank you page. So you need around 4 steps for this one. And then if we go back over here to hosting a webinar, you have the option of hosting either a live webinar or a webinar replay. If we look at the live webinar, you know that you need 3 steps: the webinar sign up page, the webinar confirmation page, and the live webinar page. And if we look at the webinar replay, which is also known as an automated webinar, if we choose this, and we can see that we need 4 steps instead of 3. So you need the sign up page, the confirmation page, the auto webinar page, and the webinar replay page. So everything has been pre-built depending on what type of funnel you want to create. So let me walk you through the basic foundation of the sales funnel that I'll be showing you how to create. So the first part of any type of sales funnel is definitely traffic. What is traffic? That's just people seeing your stuff. It's eyeballs, it's your audience, it's your followers, and it's your potential customers. So traffic can come from anywhere, essentially. So we're talking Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, your own website, Clubhouse, it doesn't really matter, but you need various traffic sources. Now, the best part of a sales funnel is that it always begins with something free, which is what goes on an opt-in page. And then when people grab the free stuff, they should then land on a sales page. Then from that sales page, they land on an order form, which then allows them to purchase the products on the sales page. And then they land on a thank you page. Now, this is a foundational funnel. There are so many ways to complicate this funnel, and there are so many ways to make it bigger or to make it smaller. But if you were just starting out to build a sales funnel, then these 4 steps are beginner friendly. As you get a little bit further into your business and you become more experienced, then you can add on things such as upsells and downsells and cross-selling and all of these other amazing things. Now, one of the most important things about your sales funnel is that you need some email marketing. This is very, very important. So when people grab your opt-in page, they go into your email list because at that stage they have become a lead. And then once they become a lead, they receive various emails from you, which drive them to the sales page. So email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, and so on. They could receive several emails, and all of these emails are driving them back to the sales page because now they are on your email list. So inside of this tutorial, I'm going to be walking you through how to create this type of sales funnel. Okay, so I know that this dashboard might look super confusing and possibly intimidating for a lot of people, and I know that it did for me. So I want to explain it to you in the simplest way possible so that you understand how to use this. So very quickly, everything that you see here in this blue bar over here will update the entire funnel. So right here on the left, this is your funnel, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages inside of this funnel. So any change that you make here, so for example, if I go into settings over here, and I click down here to select a domain, or I change the path over here, etc., or I add a tracking code here or a tracking code there, etc., or I use a zap down here, etc., anything that I do in this blue section affects all of the funnel steps. Now, however, if you want to change settings for a specific funnel step that you don't want it to be universal, right? Then you want to make the changes in the gray section above here. Now, you will only see this really when we've selected the template. But what you want to remember is that the blue section affects all the funnel steps. The gray section affects a single step. So you can see here, I've got squeeze page, I've got sales page over here. And once I hit that, things are going to change, except we haven't yet selected the template that we're going to use, but you can see that the templates have refreshed. Now, if, for example, I wanted to add a new funnel step, all I have to do is come over here to add new funnel step. So let's imagine I wanted to add an upsell. So I can call this upsell. The path can be upsell 1, for example. All I have to do is click on create funnel step, and it will show up on the left hand side here. So let me show you what that looks like. Over here, create funnel step, and you should see it come up at the bottom here. There we go. So now I've just added a funnel step. Now, because this is an upsell, the beautiful thing about an upsell is that when somebody has already purchased something from the order form, right, they only need to do 1 click in order to get the upsell. So because of that, you want to move this up so that it is right below the order form. Do you see that? So imagine they grab a lead magnet here. They see as a product here that they are interested in purchasing. They go on the order form here and they purchase the product. Then they will land on here over to the upsell before landing at the order confirmation page and then the thank you page. So it literally flows in that order. Now let's imagine I've changed my mind and I wanted to delete any one of these steps. So let me remove the upsell because this is a step that I had just added. All I need to do is click on the X over here and click on OK over here, and then that step will be deleted. So now you can see that I'm back to my original funnels and the upsell is no longer there. So that's how easy it is to add new pages and delete new pages. So we want to create a page for each of of these pages over here. Now, the first one we can see is known as the squeeze page. So this is the opt-in page. It's really important at this stage that I also let you know that if you are just starting afresh, you should definitely use a template, right? So you can see that as we're in opt-in, there are a ton of templates that you can use. And to be honest, this is definitely the quickest way to start. And in this tutorial, I will be building something from scratch just to show you how possible and easy it is to do. But honestly, save yourself a lot of trouble if you want to and use a template. So let's say I wanted to use this template. All I do is click on preview over here to look at it to see that I like it. I think this is pretty cool, right? That I like it over here. And then I can go ahead and click on select for that specific one. So if I click on select template, it will load up for me and then I can use that. But before we start from scratch, I do want to let you know that you want to be careful, right? This is where I do want you to pay a lot of attention. So you want to make sure that you are using the right template for the right type of page. So can you see over here where it says squeeze page, which is opt-in page? Over here, you want to make sure you select email opt-in so that you use the right template for your squeeze page. When we get over to sales page over here, you want to make sure that for the sales page that you are using a sales page template over here. Can you see how under sales we have sales page, product launch, order form, etc. You want to make sure you are choosing a sales page template over here. And similarly, when you come to order form, you go back over to sales over here. And you make sure that you are choosing the order form template. This is very, very important. And I have made this mistake in the past, especially when I created an upsell and I had created the upsell using, I think, a sales page template or an opt-in template. This is when I first got started and the upsell just didn't work. What I needed to do was come over here and click on one click upsell for the upsell or one click downsell for the downsell. Make sure you are using the exact template for the right page. Otherwise, your pages won't work. So now, let's dive into creating so I can show you how to create from scratch. Remember, feel free to start with a template. So to create from scratch, I'm going to begin with the squeeze page over here. I'm going to scroll all the way down to, I want to create from a blank document. So I'm skipping all of these lovely templates to here, opt-in blank start. So I'm going to click over here to select template, and that's going to load up for me into my account. Brilliant. So now it has loaded up and now I actually have a page to begin. So you can see what I said earlier, where whatever you change over here affects just this opt-in page. So the gray section affects the single page. The blue section affects all of the pages universally. Now, to begin creating, the first thing you want to do is to click on edit page. Before we even do that, let me show you this. Now, you can, once you have edited your page, you can come over here to click on create variation if you want to create what's known as split test. So, but that's a little bit advanced and we may talk about that a little bit later, but for now, let me just show you how to create a page from scratch. So I'm going to click on over here to edit page over here. So because I am editing a page from scratch, you can see that it says blank starter template. And in fact, to make it, really, really blank, I can just click X and just remove this over here. And then we know that we are truly starting from afresh, right? I can even remove this over here. And then we're starting from scratch. So there's nothing here. I'm going to be creating from afresh. So before we begin, let me just show you around what we can see here. When you click on this button, it takes you all the way out. Be careful before you click that. Make sure you click over here to save everything that you see. Now, we are currently building on desktop view. At one point, I will be showing you the mobile view so that you make sure that everything you build on desktop translates to mobile. It isn't always like that, right? We don't tend to use this. These are to do with apps. Settings, this is very, very important. We're going to come over here later on where I'll be showing you how to integrate this into your email autoresponder, how to add in SEO, tracking data, SMS if you want SMS, and the general settings that you might need. We're going to talk about that later. Over here, if you have a pop-up for your opt-in, this is where we're going to edit all of those settings. And this is like going to undo or redo something. That's what these are. But over here, these are the sections that you really need to know about. So there are really 4 main sections when it comes to building a funnel inside Clickfunnels. You have the main section, then you have what's known as rows, then you have what's known as columns, and then you have what's known as elements. And the best way to show you what they are is to actually build the funnel to show you what they are. And of course, you can click over here to preview your funnel, or your page as you build it. And of course, you want to hit this button very, very often to save all of your changes. Now, let's begin. The first thing you want to do if you are building from scratch is you want to start by adding a section. So you can see that if I hover over here, it's asking me to add a new section, which is here, right? Add a section. So if I click over here, there are really 4 types of sections that you can add. You can add a full width section, you can add a wide section, medium section, or a small section. Now, remember earlier where I showed you this specific template? Well, I'm going to show you how to build this thing, but how to build it from scratch. Really, really, really easy to do. And I'm going to have my own slight modifications to it, right? So looking at this, the reason why I'm showing you this is because oftentimes you can see somebody else's page and, you know, I want you to understand how to build it just by looking at someone else's page. It's really easy to look at somebody else's page and understand how to build it if you understand how to use ClickFunnels. So let's have a go at building this page from scratch. So now, the first thing I want to do is choose my width. Now, you have full width, which basically means that it's the whole length of the desktop, right, of the page. You have wide, which is a little bit smaller. You have medium, which is even smaller. And you have small, which is super duper small. So when I start building anything, I always start with either wide or medium. And if I look at this example, I can tell that they have probably used either medium or wide, actually. So let's start with wide here. So that's the first thing we want to do. Once we have done that, there are several things that you can do. So over here, so this, you're going to have to get used to the colors as well. So green is for sections. Now you can modify the sections by clicking on this gear, this cog icon over here, which are settings, right? So this is where you can move things up and down. You see the margin is moving, right? You can add a background image. This is where we selected wide. So imagine if I had selected, let me move this down a bit so we can see. If I change this to medium, for example, can you see that this is now smaller? And if I change this to small, for example, can you see that it's super duper small, right? Etc. So I'm going to change it back to wide. And over here, you can add in background color, change the color of text. The padding just basically means, you know, it's going up and down. The bottom, the left hand, the left and right, and so on. So these are things that you can play with, and several other options over here for mobile, desktop, and all, etc. Right? So let's stay over here on desktop because we are building. In fact, no, let's go on all. Let's build on all of the variations of mobile and desktop. So we have our section. The next thing we want to do is click over here to add a row. So remember, so we've done the section. Now we want to do the row. So hover over here and you can see that it's asking you to add a row. So I'm going to click this, and over here, it's asking me to add how many columns do I want in my rows. Do I want 1 column, 2 columns, 3, 4, 5, 6, left sidebar, right sidebar, etc. So let me show you what that looks like. Imagine if I wanted a row that had 3 columns. This is what it would look like, right? So it's got 3 different columns. I can even move this and make 1 column smaller, make it all the same size, etc. All I'm doing is just moving this across to make it to work for me. So you can see that if I hover over to the right hand side over here, I can edit the section. If I hover over to the middle, this blue section is me editing the row. So for the row, I can again, on the blue, click on the cog and make a lot of settings, change the width, the padding, and all of these things if I want to. And the orange are the elements which we haven't done just yet. So what I'm going to do, however, is go back over here because I had created 3 rows. So I'm going to delete it. Now, how do I delete it? Again, I'm going to hover over the blue because the row is what I want to delete. You want to be really careful because if you hover over here and you hover on the green, if you delete the green, it's going to delete the entire thing. If you don't want to do that, make sure you are hovering over the exact thing you want to delete. And in this case, it's the row. And so therefore, it's the blue that I'm deleting. So the more you use ClickFunnels, the more you're going to get used to all of the colors and you know what you're deleting. So to hit delete, all I need to do is to hit delete over here. If I was happy with it and I wanted to duplicate and clone it, I hit clone and now I have 2. But I don't want either of those, so I'm going to delete both of them. Let's delete the second one over here. Delete. Instead, what I do want is just 1 column row. So here we are. So now I have a section and I have a row. The next thing I need is to add an element. That is what Clickfunnels is asking me to do now. It's saying, Pam, so what do you want people to actually see? Because guess what? They won't see the section and they won't see the row, but the element they will see. So let's add an element. So over here, I'm going to click on add new element over here. Now, can you see all of the elements that we can add? There are loads over here. You can hit the search bar to find what it is that you are looking for. There's also a shortcut over here. So if I wanted to add a form element, I click on form and it will show me the form specifically. If it's a text element, I click on text and it will show me that specifically, countdown, etc. But let's leave it on all. So you can add headline, subheadline, paragraph, bullet list, quote, images, pop-up video, all sorts of things. Forms you can add, advanced, so SMS sign up, countdowns, all sorts of other element, progress bars, dividers, image list, miscellaneous elements, and of course custom HTML, JavaScript. This is where you find it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff we want to add here. Now, this is the page that I'm showing you how to create. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add the first line, which is a text element. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on headline over here. So text, so add large call to action headline over here, right? So I have added that. So now I can add the text. I can actually copy this because I'm just using this for example purposes. And now I see here, I can look at this, or I can see it's in italics. I'm going to go back and do that. So once I have selected this, you can see that I have more settings. I can make it bold, italics, underline, strike through, etc. The next thing I want to do is I want to add this part, right, which is a headline. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over on this element. I'm going to hit the plus here, and it's going to give me more elements. So I want to add a headline over here. So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste over here. So I'm just showing you how to recreate something that you've already seen. Obviously, this goes without saying, if you're going to be recreating something that you've seen, please do not use that copy. You will be in trouble. I would never use this type of copy. Of course, I would always create my own. But just for the purpose of this, it just saves me a headache, so I can use this. I might modify some of it, who knows. But let's keep moving. So now I can see that there's a whole bunch of things happening to this that hasn't transferred to this. So I can see, for example, that launch is underlined. I can also see that they have used their own branding colors over here. So I'm going to highlight this and underline launch, the word launch over here. How to launch your very own squeeze page in just 10 minutes or less. I'm going to change the copy. How to launch your very own digital product. Funnel, as I'm doing a funnel, how to launch your very own digital product funnel. It's two N's. Digital product sales funnel in just 10 minutes or less, because that is what I'm creating right now, right? 10 minutes or less. Okay, let's underline that. Very own squeeze space. Let's make that in bold. Very own sales funnel. Okay, over here. So now, and in just 10 minutes or less. Now, if I want to change the color for this, there are a few things that I need to do. I can go over to settings over here. Oops. So hover over on the orange, go to settings over here. Now the bold color and the text color, this is where I'm going to make the majority of my changes. And I'm also going to change the size. So I want this to be a different size to this, just as it is here, right? This is marginally bigger than this one, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, right, and change the size. So the font size is currently 32. I'm just going to move this until I am pretty much happy. I want it to be on just 2 lines. So let's take it down a bit over here, right? I also want to change the color. So I'm going to keep the text color as bold. I'm going to change the background color. Now, if you know the hex code for your brand colors, find it over here. I don't have mine at the top of my head, so I'm just going to select. Oh, I don't actually like any of these pinks. Let me just find something that remotely looks like something that I might enjoy using. Okay, I don't like any of these. Let's just keep it simple for the sake of this and keep it moving. Okay, so I've selected red. Let's imagine this was my brand color. So now I have changed all of the text, but you can see over here that only some of the text is in orange, right? So now what I want to do is over here, I want to hover back So go back to settings, and the text color is already black, and the bold color is already black. So what that tells me is that everything is in bold. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to actually remove the bold, and instead I'm going to bolden what I want to be bolded. So I want to keep 10 minutes bold and very own squeeze page bold. So over here, I'm going to click over here, 10 minutes, make that bold, very own digital product funnel. I'm going to make that bold as well, right? So it's looking a little bit more like the example that we are creating. The other thing you'll notice is that the font is different, right? So you could choose to keep this font as it is, or you can hover back over here and over here to select a family font over here. This is where we want to select the font. So if I click over here, there are loads of different options. I quite like Lato, which I quite like to use. Sometimes I use Noto Serif over here, which is quite nice. This one is interesting. So, I do not like that at all. Okay, I don't even think I like this. I think this is nice. This is nice, but I wouldn't use this for a headline. I would use this for if I was building a sales page and I needed specific words to stand out, then I might use that. So for the purpose of keeping it simple, for your headline, you definitely want it to be really legible. You don't want people to have to struggle to read it. So keep it safe. I keep it safe, and I just use Lato for the headline over here. So you can see that so far we have done this and we have done that. The next thing we want to do is that we have a sub headline over here, right? We have a sub headline over here. So it says, tired of the tech weighing you down. Okay, let's go back. So to do this, I want to click on over here on add new element over here. This time I could click on sub headline over here to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to come back, copy the text, which I'm then going to modify again. Please do not use somebody else's text. All right, this is very, very important. So over here, I want to make it a little bit smaller, right? So I'm going to hover over here and I am going to make it smaller. So maybe let's keep it at 22 over here. Then I'm going to read this to see where I can modify the side of tech weighing you down. You're not alone. It's time to drop the ball and chain from complicated sequences, splitting headaches, and straight up overwhelm. Download the guide today. So I could say ready to launch your own income boosting digital product without the tech weighing you down. Here we are. You see that? Simple modifications. And now you have brand new copy. Ready to launch your own income boosting digital product without the tech weighing you down. You're not alone. It's time to drop the ball and chain from complicated sequences. It's time to drop the ball and chain from complicated sequences, splitting headaches, and straight up overwhelm. It's time to drop the ball and chain. What can we put here? Right, so modify the copy to suit you. So over here I might say it's time to drop the ball and chain from the complicated tools and tech, splitting headache, straight up overwhelm, and get started in a matter of minutes. Download the guide today. I might actually put this on a separate line over here. Over here, I'm going to make this in italics, this one here, just to make it stand up. Ready to launch your very own income boosting digital product without the tech overwhelming you down. You are not alone. It's time to drop the ball and chain from complicated tools, tech, splitting headaches, and straight up overwhelm, and get started in a matter of minutes. Download the guide today. Right, to be honest, I probably wouldn't use this copy just as it is. I would work on it quite a lot more because copy is my thing. But for the sake of moving forward, I'm not going to play with this any longer because I'm not actually launching this. This is just to show you guys. So this is it. So we have this over here. It's a little bit longer over here. We want to make this call to action in bold so that it really, really stands out over here. I think I'm quite happy with this, to be honest. I might, if I was actually launching this, I might just make this a smaller, delete some of this text and make it just really, really punchy over here, right? Yep. Okay, brilliant. The next thing we want to do is this big section over here. Now, how did they add the image? How did they create this form? And how did they add this element in the middle? I'm going to be doing my own modifications over this, because if you ever borrow from somebody else's funnel, i.e. you see a design and you're using it, don't ever do the same exact as they are. Make it your own. Put your own stamp on it, right? So that it has your own pizzazz, your own personality, and everything to do with you. So make things a little bit different. So that's what we are going to be creating next. Okay, now to build this section, what I want to do is I want to create a whole new section that will cover this, and this. So I can already see that it's in 3 different columns. So this is column number 1, column number 2, and column number 3. Or I could just make it 3 columns and not have this thing in the middle. I think I might do that just to keep it really, really simple. So I'm going to come back to my template over here. I'm going to hover over to the green, and I want another section over here. I think this one I'm going to make it wide again. And this time over here, I'm going to click in the middle to add the row. So now I want 2 columns, because I want to just do this column and this column. I'm not going to bother with this in the middle over here. So now I have these 2 columns. The first thing I want to add is an image. So I've clicked over here to find the element. I want to go down over here to image over here, which is the first thing I'm going to add. So you can see that there's a placeholder there, and I'm going to show you how to change that in a moment. Now in my next column, I have quite a few things to add. So I have a headline to add over here. I have a sub headline to add over here. And then I have the form to add over here, a button to add, and some information over here, and probably an image, which I might skip for the sake of this. So let's start with the headline over here. So first I'm going to hover over to the element over here, and I'm going to click on headline, right? That's the first thing I want. Okay, so I'm going to copy this just for the sake of this. Let's use that. Okay, paste over here. I'm going to modify it later on, but for now I just want to add the things in place before I start making it pretty, changing text. This is often how I build funnels. So first I build the entire skeleton, and then I go back, read every line, and change every single thing, change wordings, images, and just make it really look like Pam's funnel and not like anybody else's funnel. And so I highly recommend that you begin by just putting everything in, and then you start making the modifications. So start with a template initially to begin with. So to add this in, I need a sub headline. So let's go back and hover over here, hit the plus button and select sub headline over here. And I'm going to add the text, right? I need to make a lot of modifications to this, but for now, let's just move on with the template. The next thing I need are my forms so that they can pop in their details. So I'm going to click the plus over here. Now I'm going to go down on the right to the shortcut here and click on form over here. The first thing I want to do is to add an input. So I need one input, and I also need a second one, so I'm just going to clone this one. So now we have 2, but you can see that they both say your email address is here, your email address is here, and we definitely don't want that. We want one to say your first name and then the other to say your email address here. So let's go back over here. So I'm going to hover over the first one because I want to change this. Go into settings over here, and I'm going to change the placeholder text. Can you see where it says placeholder text here? Right, in this section over here, I'm going to change it here. So your first name here, that's what it is. Required, you definitely want it to be required. So I want to hit this drop down required because I do want your name. And then the input type, this is very, very important. So you want to hit this drop down and click on first name, right? So that it matches. Can you see how it now says first name over here and it says first name over there? So it all matches and it looks good. The next one I want to do is the email because the input type isn't set. So even though the email, the text is correct, the warning is still showing. So I want to hover over here, right? Go down to input type over here, go to email address because that's what it is. Over here, your email address is here, it is required, and this is correct. So now these are set. Okay, so now that we have added these input fields, the name and email, these are the 2 things we want to collect. Now, you might be thinking, but Pam, what if I want to collect their phone number, right? You can, right? It's the same way that you collect their phone number, but you just want to be careful because the more things you ask of people, the less likely they are to actually convert, just because you're asking for too much information. So if it's just a lead magnet, stick to the name and their email. I have seen a lot of marketers ask for only their email because the less you ask for, the higher the conversions. So if we go back to the model over here, right, I can see that the next thing I need to add is a button that says show me now. So I'm going to go back down here. I'm going to hit the plus button over here in the orange, hit the plus. I need the button. So let's go down and find it. Here we are. There's a button here. So now I have added the button. Now you can see that there's a warning here, and I don't even like this text. Click to sign up. So I'm going to hover over here, hit the cog over here, change the text to, let's see what it says here. Show me now. I'm actually going to say change to get access. Get access now. Over here. And then the next thing I want to do is to change the color, right? So that it works with my brand over here, right? So I've got it get access now. I might want to make this just a tad bigger. Let's keep it at 22. Over here, 22 over here. So I've got get access now. The next thing I want to do is to set action. This is so important. Okay, pay attention. This is so important. Without setting the action, so you can see the warning is still here. It says button action not set. Without this, nothing is going to happen to your funnel. So you need to go over here to set action. Over here, and then you need to hit submit order form, right? Because this is what tells Clickfunnels that we're done with this, right? So it submits it. That means it has now successfully collected the name and email and submitted it to to its system, which will be connected to your email autoresponder. So you've got to make sure that it submits the page over there. So let's look at what else you can do to the button. So there's quite a few things that you can do to the button. You can go over here to themes and you can choose a different style of button. I just keep it simple, to be quite frank. You can go over here to advanced and you can change it. So for example, you might want to add a border. I don't do that, but you might want to add text shadow, button effects. I do this on sales pages. I don't really do it on an opt-in form, but let's just have a look. So you can have a pulse, right? Let's see if it will work. Hold on. Rocking. There we go. Can you see it rocking? Right. This is quite cool. I quite like to use that sometimes. Bounce. There we go. Bounce up and down. See the button moving. Elevate. When you hover over it, it should elevate. I think it only does that when it's actually live. Wobble. It should wobble when you hover over it. Okay. But that only happens when it's live. For now, I'm going to keep it as no effect. Okay. So we have our button over here. So let's have a look at what else we need to add. So we want to add this text here about your data is protected over here. There is an image over here, but I'm not going to bother with that over there. But over here, I'm going to click on the plus here. I'm going to click on add paragraph because it's already smaller. I'm going to just paste that text over here. Okay. Now let's have a quick look. Okay, so this is a lot smaller. So I'm going to change the size and move it up. Can you see that gap is a little bit too wide? So if I want to change that gap, I can go over here to the top margin. Can you see I'm moving it? And this has now moved up. I also want to change this from 16 to maybe 12. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that looks good to me over there, and that's fine. I can also see that the gap between these two fields is just a little bit wide, so I'm going to hover over the bottom one and close the top margin over there. And then, so now I'm just making some modifications. Download your 100% free guide. So free guide, I definitely want to make everything so this is going to be in bold over here. Let me make this my brand color for the purpose of this, which is red. And then I also want to change the size over here to make it pop. Brilliant. Let's see over here. I can see the 100% is over here. Let's see. I'm actually going to make this a tad smaller because I think it is, right? You can see, right, that this column is a little bit smaller. Well, that's because this is actually in 3 columns. This is 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, and I'm choosing not to do this middle bit because I don't want to. Okay, so here we are. So again, edit the copy. I'm not going to bother doing that just because I'm not actually using this. This is just for demonstration purposes. Now that we have this section, it's time to add the image over here. So to add your image, the first thing you want to do is to hover over the image, go to the cog over here, click over on image, which is the placeholder over here, and then you can see that we have no images, right? Because this is a brand new account. So the first thing you want to do is upload your image. So let me see if I have an image on my laptop that we can just quickly use. Okay, I'm going to click cancel, and instead I'm going to, so there are a few things you can do. You can either, so I can either save this image and just use that, or I can find an image of my own. So if I go to, if I go here, I can actually just save this, save image as. And then I can actually use my own image over there. So it is over here. Let's see. And then it's going to upload. So I've just selected the image. It's going to upload. And you can see the timer's going. It's pretty quick uploading, which is brilliant. And then once it's uploaded, I'm going to see it in the corner here to show that it is uploaded. So now it's just processing the file. Okay, so the image that I was trying to upload earlier was a little bit too big, and just for the sake of time, I've uploaded something else just as a placeholder here. So once you upload an image to ClickFunnels, you'll see it here. And, you know, as you have more images, they will just fill this page and they would fill several other pages, but you always come here to find your images. And then you, in order to use the image, you select the image. Once it's selected, you should see it pop up in the left top hand corner over here. And then you click over this green button where it says add image. And once you're there, it adds the image for you on the page. So here we are. So we can see that the image is on the page. There's a few things that, you know, that I would like to change. For example, this image is way too big for this page. I want it to be probably half the size. So over here, I'm going to make it smaller. So let's try 400. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, here we are. That's a lot smaller. Let's try 500 actually. That's even, that's better for me. I mean, to be honest, if we were doing this, I would be using a whole different image, but just use this as a placeholder for the sake of this tutorial. So looking back, we have an image, we have all of this, we have all of that. All we need down here are pretty much your terms and conditions, privacy policy, and all of that. And you can see that it's grayed out, which shows me that it's a whole different section on this page. So if I go back here, I can go down to the bottom over here, and I can go full width for a new section over here. Then I'm going to click on add a row, and I'm going to add one row. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to add a paragraph row here, right? And so I'm going to just copy this just for the sake of this. Let's just use this placeholder text. Well, there's already placeholder text there that we could have used, but that's fine over here. And then I'm going to change the color because this is gray, light gray. So to change the color, I want to change the color of the entire green area. So I'm going to hover over, hit the cog in the settings over here, and where it says background color, I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select gray. See, that gray is way too dark. So I'm going to use this to just brighten the color so that it's just an off-white gray over there. And there you have it. So I have pretty much created a very similar page to this one, right? So now it's time for me to just make sure that everything looks good, right? So first we want to make this wobble just like this one was over here. This one wobbles over here. Can you see it's moving? The button? Right, let's go back and do that. So over here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger by changing the font size. Oops, too big over here. Then I'm going to go to advanced to make the button wobble. So down here on button effect, I believe it's the rocking loop. There we are. There we are. I also think my button's a little bit too close to the top. So I'm just going to move this down just a tad over there. And there we have that. So if I look back over here, let's see what else I could have. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Now, obviously, if this was a real page that I am launching, I would spend a little bit more time on making sure on, you know, the copy. So when you are doing this, make sure that the copy really, really works. The most important thing that people look at, you know, when they're going to get something from you, whether it's for free or it's for paid, is they want to make sure that there is some sort of benefit in the copy. So this one, for example, says how to launch your very own digital product sales funnel in just 10 minutes, right? So it actually has two benefits. One is that you get to launch, right? It's going to show you how to launch, and it's telling you what it's showing you how to launch, right? So you can see that in the messaging, it's covered two things already. And the big thing it's showing you is that you can do it in 10 minutes or less. Wow. How amazing is that, right? So you can see that this one sentence, it really packs a punch, right? And then you can then solidify that with your sub headline over there. And of course, your call to action over here. So this is a very, very, very simple page. You definitely want a better image than this one, for sure. So let me show you some of the images that have worked really well for us. I just want to show you some of the images that have really worked well for us in terms of the type of images that you can create. Something like this has really worked well. This page that you're looking at converts at 80%, which is absolutely brilliant. And just so you know, the average conversion rate for an opt-in page, industry standard average, is around 20%. So for that page to convert at 80% is absolute bonkers, right? So I would spend a lot more time to make it look a little bit like the example that I have just shown you over there. So let's just close that over there. Brilliant. So that's it. Once you have done that, you hit save over here. And there's a few more things you need to do before you are ready to launch this baby. So the next thing I want to show you is how to make sure that you have optimized for mobile. This is very important. You know, the thing to note is that we are mostly on our mobile phones. And so about 80 to 90% of people who are grabbing anything that you are selling will be grabbing it on their mobile. So it's very important to make sure that everything looks good on mobile. So right here on the icon over here, you can see desktop because we are on desktop version. Now to go to mobile, we want to click over here to mobile to see what it looks like. Okay, so I can already see that it looks okay, right? Let's try and scroll down. It looks okay, but there's a few things that I would definitely change on the mobile view. So for example, this view over here, I feel that this is way too big. I also feel that people should be able to grab my lead magnet, i.e. put in their name and their email, and click on this button right within this first window. They shouldn't have to scroll down to find this. This is very important. If you're making people scroll down to find how to actually opt in to your stuff or buy your stuff, you're making them work way too hard, in which case you're going to lose your conversions. It's going to limit your conversions. So I need to make some changes over here to move this up to over here and make this way smaller. Now, to do that, I can't just move everything, because if I move things here, it will affect the desktop version. So what that means is that I need to create two versions of pretty much everything, right? So the first change I want to make is over here on the headline, because on the mobile version, the headline is way too big, and this is all just way too big. So what I'm going to do is on this green over here, I'm going to hit the cog over here. No, actually, the first thing I'm going to do on this green over here, green here, is I'm going to clone this. So I'm going to have two copies, one for mobile, one for desktop. So now I have one here and one here. Then I'm going to move to the settings cog over here, and I'm going to click on desktop only. So what I'm saying to Clickfunnels is I'm saying to Clickfunnels, this version at the top, I want you to show it on the desktop only. And then this version on the bottom, I'm going to click the cog and I'm going to click on mobile only. So now this is my mobile version over here. So now I can make my changes over here without it affecting the desktop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller. So let's make this one line smaller over here. Let me see if I can take this even higher. Let's take this up over here. So imagine if you could ... Imagine if I could show you how to, right? So this is way too big. How to launch. I want to make this like half the size over here so that it looks good on mobile, which is very important. And then over here, I also want to make this, hold on a minute, let me just make sure. Let's save, go back. Can you see that nothing is being affected? This is still the same size. So I'm on the right track over here. So over here, I want to make this even smaller over here, right? So now so mobile version is looking better because we want to operate on mobile. The next thing I want to do over here is do the same thing essentially. So I'm going to clone this section. So now I have two versions. So version 1 over here is going to be for desktop only, right? So I've clicked desktop, whilst version 2 over here, so hover over to the green, go over to the settings, and I'm going to click on mobile because this is now the mobile version. So now I can move everything around. Right? In order for people to be able to grab this, I need to move everything around. So I need to move download. I need to move this call to action up. So I'm going to move you up here. Let's go. Let's make you smaller. Way smaller. You are the call to action over here. On mobile, I might even remove this. Who knows, right? And then I'm going to move these. Hold on. Actually, I'm just going to move the image further down. Let's move this here. Right? Because really my priority right now, honestly, my priority right now is to get you to be able to click. That's it. That's really my priority over here. So here, let's move here. Okay, there needs to be some more adjustments. Let's move this up. And the button over here. So let's have a look. So if we head back to the example here, if I shrink it, we can look at what the mobile version looks like. So can you see how everything is shrunken? What they have chosen to do is they have chosen to show their image first before the call to action, which again is fine. Sometimes I do that, but honestly, sometimes I just prefer to take you straight to the call to action and move all of these above the image so that you are not having to scroll to find my call to action. So honestly, you can do it either way. Okay, you can do it either way. So you can have the image first before the call to action or the other way around. Okay. If I'm going to have the image below, however, then I might have another button here that opens a pop-up. So this could have been a pop-up, for example. It didn't have to be a field for your name and your email. It could have been a pop-up. So that works just as well. Okay, so let me just make this a little bit prettier. So move this down a bit. What if I could show you how to launch your very digital product, sales funnel? It should be sales funnel in just 10 minutes or less. So you see on mobile, I don't even feel that I need this, right? I don't feel that I need this. So I'm going to remove this on mobile. There we are, right? So download so I think I can make this a little bit smaller here. Just there. Download your 100% free guide. Enter your name, email, get access now, no gimmicks or anything else. Or anything of the sorts, just good old-fashioned template goodness. I'm going to move this up to below here because that's where it belongs. Oopsie, there we go. Right, just below the button over there. And I'm going to have some gap here in the margin over here, right? Okay, so in the real world, honestly, I would have another button. I would clone this button and have another one just below the image here. And I would probably link that button so that when they click the button, it jumps them back to this section. That's what I would do in the real world, to be quite honest with you. But here, this looks good. And you don't have to have a second button here. This is just me being picky. This would definitely be smaller, right? But there you have it. So you want to hit save. Right? And you want to make sure that the mobile version looks decent, that it looks good, because that's what people are buying into. So now we have the desktop version and you can see that nothing has changed, right? And then we have the mobile version, which is tailored for our mobile viewers, so they can see the headline and they see the call to action and the button. They see it straight away without having to scroll down for ages to get it. So there's a couple more things that we need to do in order for you to be able to use this, and that is to connect you to your email autoresponder. So this is where we do it. We go over here to integrations. Now you can see that we cannot really integrate anything. We can only integrate to Clickfunnels, right? But let's imagine you were using something else such as ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign or GetResponse or MailChimp or any of the other myriad of email autoresponders that there are out there. How would you do that? So let me walk you through how to integrate Clickfunnels to your email autoresponder. I want to show you how to connect, or rather integrate, Clickfunnels with your email autoresponder. In this case, I'm going to be teaching you how to connect it to ConvertKit, but you can use this process for absolutely any email autoresponder that you have. So what we are doing is making sure that when somebody puts in their name and their email here and clicks on Get Access Now on this opt-in form, that they will get access. Now, if you are on the lower plan of Clickfunnels, then Clickfunnels won't deliver that. So that's where your email software, email marketing software comes in. So there are a few things we need to do. You need to first, if you have your page open, you need to first save that. Then you need to click over here to exit the page. When you exit the page, you need to come over here to account settings. So click over to the top where your name or your company name is, then come over to account settings over here. And then on the left-hand side over here, you want to scroll all the way down to integrations. as you're here, you'll notice that there's literally only ClickFunnels and HTML here. But when we click on this orange button that says add new integration, you can see that there's a ton of other softwares and apps, etc., that we can integrate to, from anything from Aweber to ConvertKit, which I'll be using right now. Everything, you have it here really. So have a look at what your email marketing software is and integrate it directly. For anything that you cannot you cannot integrate directly, you can always use Zapier for. So let's just do a breakdown for what they do have a direct integration to. So they have Aweber, Constant Contact, ConvertKit, Drip, GetResponse, HubSpot, Infusionsoft, MadMimi, MailChimp, etc., etc., etc. So there's loads that you can integrate to directly. So once you have found the one that you want to integrate to, in this case, I'm going to be using ConvertKit. You click on that over here. And then what we need is to give it a nickname. So I'm just going to call this ConvertKit Integration. Nobody's going to see that. And then you need to grab the API key, which we're going to paste over in this section. The way to do that is to open ConvertKit in a different tab. Now, this is a brand new account that I don't use, that I only use for tutorial purposes. You want to go over here to wherever, your name is, or the name of your business is. You want to go down to account settings over there. And then as you scroll down, you can see where it says API key. This is what we are looking for. So I'm going to head back to ClickFunnels as I have copied that. I'm going to paste in the API key over there, and I'm going to click over here and add integration. Let's see what happens. Okay, brilliant. So we can now see that ConvertKit has now been added as an integration over here. So we can select it. And that's all it is. So now that we have integrated ConvertKit, we can then move on with setting up the rest of your funnel and actually connecting the two softwares together. So the way to do that is to go to your funnels. So whatever funnel you are working on that you want to connect, in this case, it's this one. So I'm going to open this. And then you want to open the page for your opt-in. So I'm going to click on edit page, and that's going to open. And then you want to come over here to settings over here, to integrations over here. And then you can see that there are no integrations over here, which means that even though the ClickFunnels account is integrated with ConvertKit, we need to integrate the actual funnel to ConvertKit. So that's what we're doing right now. So over here, I want to hit the drop down, and now we can see that we have ConvertKit because it's already been integrated over here. And then over here, you want to select subscribe to form. And once you select subscribe to form, it's going to show you the forms that you have over in ConvertKit. So before you do this, you definitely want to go back over to ConvertKit, who's going to be delivering your email, and you want to create that form, the sequence, and the list where people are going to receive that email. So we have a complete ConvertKit tutorial on this channel. Please make sure you check that out if you want to learn how to do that inside of ConvertKit. But for now, let's head back over to the funnel, and I'm just going to select a list that we already have. And once you've selected a list that you have, make sure it is the right one. You'll see over here that it says connected. And if you make a mistake, you just click over here to remove connection, and then you do it again. But I'm going to leave it as connected because that is what we want to do. Now, why do we need to do that? It is because if we don't do that, we won't be able to achieve this funnel. And you can see that the big part of this funnel is actually the email marketing, because when the leads come in, they go into your email list and they receive a series of emails from you. So it is your email autoresponder that delivers these emails. So that could be ConvertKit, Active Campaign, Constant Contact, GetResponse, whatever it is that you are using, that's its job. So it's a huge part of this process. So don't forget to check out our ConvertKit tutorial, and I'll be linking it below this video too. So now that we have linked that, there are a few other things you want to do. So going back to settings, you can see that this is ticked now. The next thing you want to do is the SEO metadata. You can see that I've got some numbers in here, but we want to change that. So what I would do if I were you is add in the headline here. So let's go back to, so I've just copied the headline. If I go back to SEO metadata, I would pop it in here, add the headline in there, then add your description. So you can literally take some bullet points from your actual opt-in and add it as a description. Add some keywords in there, right? So remove what is there and add some keywords. So I might add digital product, launch, sales funnel, sales system, etc. These are all keywords, and you obviously want to add your name here. And then over here for the image URL, you want to go back and add your image, whatever image that you use in this section, go back and add it. What you are doing is you are setting up your SEO so that if it does come up on search, it looks good and it serves your business. So make sure you add in your keywords in this section and a really good description with keywords in this section over here. So now that we have done that, we can then move forward. So we've done the integrations, we've done the SEO metadata, tracking code. This is something that's very, very important. If you are setting up Facebook ads, for example, then you're going to want to add some small snippets of tracking code, especially to track your events in this section here. But this is a little bit more advanced, and I'm going to leave this for you to check out my Facebook ads tutorial. If you want to find out exactly how to run Facebook ads to your opt-in page, we have a fantastic tutorial, so make sure you check that out. But that's what you would be adding over here for your tracking code. Again, if you're not running any Facebook ads, you can ignore that section. Custom CSS, this is a little bit more advanced, so you can ignore that. Background, we're pretty much set. We can ignore that. Typography, we can ignore that. General, now this is important. So now, the first thing you want to see over here on general is this first section here where it says on submit, go to blank. So what we need to do is we need to tell ClickFunnels what we want it to do, so that when somebody puts in their name and their email and hits this button over here, not only do they then get an email from us, but we want this page to move to the next step in the funnel. So what is that next step? So if I hit save over here and we come out over here, so we exit. So the next step in the funnel would be that sales page. So if I click on that sales page over here, so we don't have a sales page just yet because we haven't built this. So for this, I'd have to choose a template first. But essentially what you want to do is to grab that link for that sales page and pop it into that section where we were. So let's go back there. So I'm going to go back in and, edit the page again. Head back over here to general, and this is where you would literally pop that link. So I've just clicked here to see some of the other links that I have added here for various parts of my funnel. So I'm going to select one of these. And so now if somebody gets this, so if they put in their name here, their email here, and they click on get access now, it will move them to that link where I have just added. And if that's a sales page, now they are landing on your sales page, and that is what makes it a funnel, because they are moving from page 1 to page 2 to page 3, page 4, all without you doing any additional work. It just happens on autopilot. Okay, so those are the main settings over here. So I'm going to hit save because we have now finished setting up most of this part of the funnel. One more thing I want to show you in this section before we move on. So if we go back to settings where we were just now and go back to general, a couple more things to show you here. So the affiliate badge over here. So this is if you want people to know that your page was designed in ClickFunnels. To be honest, I always put hide because I want my page to look like it was designed in my own platform, right? I want to promote my brand all the time. So you can just click hide over here, which is what I do. At search engines, yes, you want it to show in search engines. And then this button here is save page as template. So you'll find that as you go on and build funnels and create pages, you want to start saving them as a template so that in the future you do not have to create from scratch. Instead, you can just name your template, click over here to create template, and your template will be saved for you, and then you have a foundation to go from with your own templates in the future. Now walked you through exactly how to create a page from scratch using ClickFunnels. So now that we've finished with the first page over here, let's go back out to see how many other pages we have in the funnel. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages to create. So let's move down to the sales page where I want to now show you how to use a template to build your pages in ClickFunnels. Now remember, if you are just starting out, I highly recommend that you do use a template. So we are on the sales page. Remember that you must make sure that you are using the correct type of template if you are going to be using a template. So this is a sales page, and I can see underneath it says sales page underneath as well, which means I'm in the right place. So make sure. Now, there are so many different types of templates that you can use inside of ClickFunnels. So you want to read each one to really figure out exactly how you want your page to look. So VSL stands for video sales letter. So if you have a video, you might want to use this template. This one is for a product launch. So you can see at the top that it has 4 videos, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to be recording a ton of videos if you choose this template over here. This one says long form VSL. That means that there's a video sales letter in here, but then it's a long form sales page as well, and so on and so forth. So you just want to read through, but bearing in mind that all of these sales pages are really, really easy to modify. You can literally just choose any one that you want to. So in that case, I'm going to choose this one. So you can also take a look at what the page looks like before you select. So I'm going to click on preview so we can take a quick look. Right, so you can see what the page looks like. This is a very, very short sales page. I'd probably use something like this for you know, like an OTO, a one-time offer, etc. I personally prefer more long form types of sales pages, but it really doesn't matter. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to click over here. So once you know which type of template you want to use, all you do is click on the green where it says select template, and you can see that it's going to load into the account, meaning that we can begin editing. We don't have to start from scratch. So once it's loaded onto this screen, even as it's loading, you can click over here to edit page over here. So very quickly, there are a number of things that you have to do on this page. First, you have to obviously change all of the text, right, to suit your business. Now, you don't have to do any designing if you don't want to. You do need to change the color. Of course, I'm going to hover over here into the settings, and I can change that from red to green or to blue or to navy blue, depending on what my brand color is. If you know your hex code, you can pop it right here, or you can choose your colors right from over in this section here, right? So you want to definitely make sure that you modify everything. You also want to add your video if you have a video. Now to do that, you hover and go over to the cog settings over here. Now this is very important. When it comes to video type, you want to hit this drop down and select what works for you. So inside of ClickFunnels, you can upload from YouTube, from Vimeo, Wistia, etc. Right, so Vimeo and YouTube, you know, you have free versions of those. YouTube is definitely free. Vimeo has a free version. So if you upload from YouTube, for example, you insert the URL for the video, and then you have other options over here, whether you want it to autoplay on or off. I like to leave that off because autoplay can be really annoying for some people. The controls, you can leave that on. The branding, you definitely want to leave that off for sure. And everything else you sort of leave as it is. And then you can go over to the themes and, you know, select different types of themes. So you have the border around this section if you want to, or you have the green border, etc., depending on what your brand is or what you like. I tend to just keep it simple, to be quite frank. Then you have the advanced setting where you can actually change the size of the video, right? So you have full width over here, you have 3/4. Can you see it's been made smaller over here? Then you have half, which is even smaller. So if we go back to full width, look how big the video is. Sticky on scroll. I do like this, but this tends to work for really long sales pages. If you have a really long sales page, then you want to, let me show you this, right? If you have a really long sales page, then you want it so that when people scroll down, the video sort of pops up in the corner over here and doesn't disappear. So that works when it's a long sales page. In this case, you want to leave it off because this sales page is relatively short. But if you have a long sales page, then you want to keep that on. Once you have edited your page, and obviously the disclaimer, you've added your privacy policy, terms and conditions and contacts over here, and obviously you want to remove powered by ClickFunnels over here, right? Once you have added everything, make sure that you come back over here to do your integrations, right? So you want to integrate it over here, your SEO metadata, any tracking code that you need, and any settings you want to insert so that when this form is submitted, you want to tell ClickFunnels where you want it to go. So that's what you do over here when you are using a template. I highly recommend using a template. If you are just starting out, it is really, really super easy to use their templates. So go ahead and do that. Once you finish, of course, hit the save button over here, and then you are good to go. Before that, you definitely want to make sure that you check your mobile setting over here, right? So check that everything is in the right place and that it looks good on mobile version, because like I mentioned earlier, the majority of people who buy will be buying from their mobile. So make sure you check that before you're finished. So now that I've shown you that, let's go back out, because there's a few important things that I do want to show you, especially when it comes to the order form over here. So if I click over to the order form, you'll notice that this one is relatively different. Not only do we need to select templates, but we need to add products. So again, it's the same process. We're going to select a template that you like. Just select something simple. So I'm going to select this one. So select template over here. Once it has loaded, we have some more interesting things to do beyond just designing. You see over here that we have an additional tab over here, which is products. So if I click over here, this is where we insert your product. So because this is a sales funnel and you want people to buy something, they need a means to buy it beyond just the order form. You want them to be able to pay automatically. So over here, we want to click on add product over here. And then in order to add your product, you first need to add your payment integration. So I'm going to click on add payment integration over here. There are several ways to do that. I could have gone over here, by the way, right, into account settings, right, and gone over here to payment gateway. And can you see, I'd be back in the same place, right? So there are two ways of going there. So we're back in the same place. Then you want to click on this green button that says add payment integration over here. And once you're here, you want to select your payment portal. Like, which one do you want to use? Majority of people, in all honesty, use Stripe or PayPal. Stripe is definitely easier, and most people use that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we use Stripe. In fact, we use both Stripe and PayPal. So it says you're currently using 0 of 3 Stripe accounts. So you can add 3 different Stripe accounts to your Clickfunnels account. So in order to do that, you first want to create your Stripe account, which you can do directly from inside of Clickfunnels. If you already have a Stripe account, you can also sign in, but let's click on the word create here so that we can move forward. Now, in order to create your Stripe account, you definitely want to begin by adding your name over here. So Pam Stripe demo over here. So it says enable Apple Pay, and over here you want to make this your default Stripe account. This is assuming you have more than one Stripe account, right? So I'm going to turn that on, and over here you can click on create Stripe account. Brilliant. So once you have clicked on that, it moves us over to the next tab, which is connect. It says now that you have named your account, click the button below to be directed to Stripe website where you can complete your connection. So click on next over here, connect with Stripe, and it's going to open Stripe over here. So now, getting started with Stripe, the first thing you want to do is to add your email, right? Add your email, and then you can move to the next step. However, if you have a Stripe account, you can use the same email, right? So I'm going to click on this email to add. I'm going to click on next over here, and then you want to create a password. Okay, password must be 10 characters. Click on next over here. It is free, by the way, to create a Stripe account. The next thing you want to do is to secure account with a mobile number. Now, I don't have a mobile that I haven't used on Stripe, so I can't actually move forward with this. But you want to then add your mobile number, and what it will do is it was going to send you a text message, a code for you to connect and activate your Stripe details. And then you literally keep following the steps and integrate your Stripe into Clickfunnels. Now, once that is done, so let's head back into Clickfunnels. So I'm back into Clickfunnels and into my funnel because I have just tried to integrate Stripe. Now, I haven't gone the whole entire way simply because I have other Stripe accounts that I do not want to connect to this account, because this is just for tutorial purposes and I don't want to mess up my accounts. But let's see if it allows me to move forward. So I've headed back down to the order form, and we want to add products because this is the order form. So, but first, let me open this so that we can edit this order form and we can see what it looks like. So this is the order form that I loaded up from the template. It's obvious what you need to change. Now, of course, you want to change this to your own logo. You obviously want to change this image unless you are this beautiful lady. If you're not, then you want to add your own picture there. There's really nothing else that you want to change here besides the bottom, right? You want to add your own information all the way down to the bottom. Change absolutely everything else in here. So I'm just clicking over so that we can see the various steps. If you want to edit this, right, it's really, really simple to edit. All I'm doing is hovering over, clicking on the cog, and over here you can see that there is one and 2. So these are 2 steps, right? So this is what's known as a 2-step order form. So at the bottom it says go to step 2. So your customer or client won't be able to click like we're clicking. They'll first have to fill in their information before they go to step 2. But you might need to make some edits to these for them if you want to. So to do that, you go to the settings over here. And you can see here where it says step 1 and step 2. So this means that you are editing both steps depending on which step you are on. So beginning at step 1, you probably want to leave everything where it is, unless you don't have any shipping. If you don't have any shipping to do, you might want to remove that. But what I really want to show you is this in step 2, because down over here, this is what's known as an order bump or profit maximizer. Now, if I close this so that we can see a little bit better. Okay, it won't let me do that. We have to literally look at it from this view. That's fine. So this is an order bump. The beautiful thing about an order bump is that it is such a powerful part of the sales funnel. And inside of the funnels that we build in my business and in our clients' businesses, we find that a good 60 to 80% of everybody who takes the first offer on your sales page will also take this order bump. So this is where you can add your order bump and edit it or remove it if you don't want it to be there. So to find it, you go all the way to the bottom over here. To the bottom over here, this says, yes, I will take it. Sometimes I have to look for those specific words. Now, in order to find this text, which is the order bump, to edit it, you're going to have to check for it. So on this specific form, I have found it over here where it says advanced, right? Can you see where it says show order bump? So if you don't want this, if you don't want the order bump, you can actually hide the order bump. Can you see that it's disappeared? But you don't want to do that. You'd be leaving a ton of money on the table. So you definitely want to click on show order bump, and then you want to make the necessary edits that you want to make. So this is the order form. Once you have made your edits, you click on save over here. We now want to add the products. This is where a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. They think that just because this is on, that, therefore their products will be sold. No, it won't, right? You need to come out of this. And then we need to click over to products over here and then add the products. So assuming that you are all set up with your payment gateway, either on Stripe or on PayPal or whatever you are using, you want to click over here to add products over here. Once you get here, if you have more than one integration, you get to select the integration, but I'm going to select this because I only have Stripe over here. Then this is where you want to tell Clickfunnels exactly the type of payment you want it to be. Over here is subscription payment if it is a subscription. Over here is a payment plan if it is a payment plan. But if it's a one-time fee, i.e. they're only paying the one time, you click on that. Once you do that, you click on save and next over here. So it saves and it's going to move you over. So you can see very quickly that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to go through. Now you want to name the product. So let's call this digital course. Whoops. And then you want to name it a price. I'm not sure what you want to name it, but let's call this $497, for example. And then over here, you want to choose your currency. Let's leave it as USD. Price display override. You might want to leave that blank. Shipping origin address. You can add that in if you are doing a physical product, but I tend to just leave this blank. Billing description. This will appear on your customer's credit card statements alongside your company name that will be set in your payment gateway. So I tend to just add in the name of the product in the billing description over here. Where is that? Okay, product description. Here you want to add some description about the product. And over here, if the products that you added here is the main product, you want to leave this grayed out because it's not the bump, right? If you have a limit to the products, then you want to turn this on and add the limit over here. But if it's a digital product, then you leave this off. Once you do that, you click on save and continue. And then it's going to move us to the next step, which is the create variations. This is optional, so just leave that and click on save and next. And then over here, you want to enable fulfillment email. Well, to be honest, I tend not to enable this because I want to integrate to ConvertKit. So if you enable it, you can add your email over here, but I believe you have to add on SMTP settings, etc., which I don't even mess with because I prefer my email autoresponder to do all of the emailing for me. And then thank you page over here, you want to either add the link over here or select none. Or you just grab the link from your thank you page and you add here, you click on save and next, and then it's going to take us to follow-up actions over here. When we get to follow-up actions, you definitely want to turn this on. Now you can see that we have two softwares integrated. We have the Clickfunnels and we have ConvertKit. So here you want to definitely select ConvertKit, and this is where you want to add whoever has purchased to a specific form, you know, whatever your form is. So I'm going to select this one just because it's there, and to a specific list if you want to tag them as a buyer. For example, you've tagged them. The moment they purchase something from you, assuming everything is set up inside of your email autoresponder, they will instantly receive an email confirming their purchase. So once you have selected that, so this is very important. And by the way, if you cannot find the list, just click over here to refresh list from API and it will refresh your list, and then you can find it then. If you arrive at this stage and you realize that your list or form doesn't actually exist, don't stress. Just go over to your email autoresponder and create it. Then come back over here, hit the refresh list, and then you will see it pop up. Then you click on save and next over here. Once you do that, we're at the shipping. Is this a physical product? No, it isn't. I'm going to leave this as gray. If yours is a physical product, turn it on, and then you select your integrations. You've got to integrate the company who is going to be delivering or shipping your product. So I'm going to turn this off because this isn't. Then you click on save and next over here. So now it is saving over here, and we are pretty much at the summary. So all Clickfunnels is showing you here is the summary of what you have done. So we know that we have a product called Digital Course. We know it's $497. We have turned some of these things off, and we have connected to ConvertKit. And all you do here is return to product list over here. And that's it. Now we have the product. Now, earlier when I was showing you the form, I showed you something called an order bump, right? So if you chose to keep an order bump on, then please note that you do need a second product added, which will be for your order bump. So let me show you very briefly what that looks like. So I'm going to click on add product over here. I'm going to select Stripe again. It's going to be one-time payment again in this case, right? I'm going to click on save and next in this case. So moving forward. Then you want to insert the name of your order bump. So let's call, I'm just for the sake of moving forward, let's just call this order bump over here. The price for this order bump, let's call it 97 USD. Over here, I'm going to skip all of these, but this is where the magic happens. When you get here to order bump, you want to turn this on and then save and move forward. And then everything else is plain sailing, where you literally just save and move forward and add everything to your list. So leave this and save and move forward over here. And then when you get to fulfillment email, however, you do want to turn this on. Select your email autoresponder because it should be integrated by now. Then you select the right form for your order bump. You select the right list for your order bump, right? So whatever it's called. For this, I'm just literally choosing anything that I have just to show you this. Obviously, mine will be named very differently. You click on save and next, and then it's going to show you a summary of everything that you have created. Shipping, pardon me, it's not a physical product, so I'm going to leave this gray. If it is, you turn it on, but I'm going to leave it gray. Click on save and next. And then the final stage is the summary, and then I can just click on return to product list, and voila, I now have two products. The first is the main product, and the second is the order bump. So now I know that if somebody goes to purchase this, it is live, or rather it will be live, and they will be able to pay $497 or $97 for my products. And then next we move over to publishing over here, the order form. And inside of this section, all you are really doing is you can rename this, but I tend to just leave it as order form. The path, you can make it a little bit cleaner over here. So it says order form 89E7G. I don't want to do that, so I can just go buy or get access. Or I can name it after the product. So I can call it Digital Course. Right, this is the path. And then over here for Digital Table Rush, I tend to enable this because it keeps track of all of the buyers of the product and shows it to and shows that information to people who are purchasing the product or who want to purchase the product, to show them that they're not the only ones buying it, which is good. FOMO is good for life. So that's what this does. Once you have done that, you click on update funnel step over here, and we are done with the order form. And that's it. We can now now move on to the next step. So now that we have that set up, all I have to do, or what you have to do, is click on this over here to be able to use the order form. And assuming everything has been changed, of course, you've changed all of the branding and the images, etc. Someone can just literally put in their email and details over here, click on the next step. Well, they need to first add in their phone number and click on country, and they should be able to order something from you, which is absolutely brilliant. So now let's move on to the next step. Now that that's done, the next thing you want to do is to make sure that you have, for all of these other steps in the form, that you have selected a template for them, right? Remember to start with a template if you are just starting out. So just click on the order confirmation and choose which one you like. So this is a very, very simple one actually. So I'm going to select this template over here, and it's going to load up for me. And then you change all of the details. Once you have done that for all of the pages, the next thing you want to do is just check everything, check that you have done everything correctly. So go over here to settings over here, and then you want to make sure that you add your domain. Now, I am going to create a separate recording for how to add your domain to Clickfunnels, but it's actually really, really simple. You click on add domain. If you want to register a new domain, you can actually register a new domain via Clickfunnels here, or you can add your own domain that you own. So you can use an existing domain that you already own. So if I was to put in here pamelbassa.com, I wouldn't use this because I have already used this for my website, and I don't want to mess things up. So instead, what I would want to do is add a subdomain. So I could go to go.pamelbassa.com or digital or course, right? course.pamelbassa.com, etc. And then you click on add domain, and then you follow the necessary steps, because the next step is that you need to connect Clickfunnels to you need to add a CNAME record that points at that specific domain to your Clickfunnels account. Now, you have to do that into your own wherever you have purchased a domain from. So if you got it from GoDaddy, you do it inside of GoDaddy. If you got it from Ionos, you do it inside of Ionos. Namecheap, whatever you use, that's where you go to. Once you have done that, you come over here to I've done this step, and then it's going to check, and it said good job, you did it. Pamelbassa is connected. Your domain has verified, and then it's giving me some information, which is adding SSL certificate to the domain, etc. So make sure you read through all of these, watch the videos, and it walks you through, and then you can move forward. It says it's connected and is ready to use. So the next thing you want to do is just to make sure you go over everything. So just as we round up, let me just walk you through to make sure we have everything in place before you are ready to launch. So I think I have covered some of these things already, but let's go into settings. Let's see what else we have remaining to do over here. So you can see that in the settings, I can literally hit this drop down and now select this new domain that I have, right? So this is going to be the domain that's going to go across the entire funnel, because if you remember what I mentioned earlier, everything in this blue section over here is funnel wide. So this domain is going to go through all of the funnel. You do want to definitely change the path, right? Can you see these numbers? It's not very sexy, right? So I'm going to call this course.pamelbassa.com/digital product, right? That's going to be something that you can keep there. Over here with your head tracking code, this is where you want to add in your Facebook pixel, right? Your general Facebook pixel if you are going to be running ads. Even if you're not going to be running ads, you definitely want to still add your pixel so that it is collecting data for when you are ready to run ads. And then if we move down your Stripe account, you want to definitely select it over here. So I've selected my Stripe, so make sure you do that over here. There's nothing else to do here. Zapier, you can do directly through Zapier. Moving down, once you change anything here, you want to click over here to save and update settings. Make sure you do that all the time. There are a couple more things that I want to show you. If you ever want to give somebody this funnel, you use this link over here. But this is a warning to remember this. Share this code with any Clickfunnels user to give them a cloned copy of your funnel. So that means that you'll be giving them access to all of the work that you have done on this funnel. So this isn't just for somebody to view. Instead, you're actually giving them the pre-built funnel. So you can give that to somebody, to clients, you can give that as a gift to people who you want to, who you want to give it to, essentially. But if you want them to just view the funnel without the ability to clone the funnel, then you definitely want to give them the funnel step over here. So you want to click over here you open this, and then when you click this link, you open that page, and that's the funnel that you give to them. Thank you so much for catching that tutorial. Like I said, Clickfunnels is one of my favorite tools. Once again, if you don't already have a Clickfunnels account, make sure you grab my link right below this video and get started for free for 14 days. And you get access to bonuses from me worth $9.97. So make sure you do. Take a look at what those bonuses look like. So I want to walk you through how to get your free bonuses with me if you sign up to Clickfunnels using my link. Complete disclosure, I absolutely love Clickfunnels. Like I've been saying, it's helped me massively with my business. And so I have some amazing bonuses, 3 bonuses actually. Bonus number 1, bonus number 2, and bonus number 3 for anybody who signs up to Clickfunnels using my link. Now, first of all, how do you get to this page? You get to this page by going to www.pamabassa.com/ClickFunnels bonus. Okay, that's how you arrive at this page, and I will be linking out, posting the link to that, to this page right under the video. But I just want to walk you through the bonus of what happens. Now, you can get started with Clickfunnels with a 14-day free trial. So that means that over the course of 14 days, you could potentially have your funnels built and even start making money depending on how far you have gone with creating your funnels, and start making money before you even begin to pay for Clickfunnels. So the first bonus that I'm going to be giving you is how to fill your funnel organically. So I give you my complete Facebook organic marketing course. It's called the Facebook Marketing Hacks Intensive, and it's one of the best things that we have created, that a lot of people buy from us, that really teaches you how to use Facebook the free way, right? So it's a highly sought after course, and I show you step by step how to use Facebook as a marketing machine for free, using little known methods that you can use to grow any business without spending any money on Facebook ads. So that is the first bonus. And the second bonus is my high converting done for you social media marketing templates. For this, we give you a total of just over 365 posts that you can use for your business. These winning templates are incredibly high converting and have helped us to generate 6 figures organically. So that means without paying for any ads. And you can customize this to use for absolutely any business. And on the third bonus is that I'm going to be giving you access to my highest converting lead generation funnel, right? So this is something that you can easily swipe and start using inside of your Clickfunnels account straight away. So once you get access to this funnel, you get access to social media posts, and you get access to training for how to use Facebook. This is pretty much the trifecta for how to grow your business for free. And you get all of this as a bonus just for using my link. Now, how do you use my link? What you do is you click here, this massive button that says click here to claim your free bonus. And once you click here, it'll take you to open your account on Clickfunnels, which I'll be showing you how to do in a moment. And then, of course, right at the bottom, we have some instructions. So you sign up to my Clickfunnels account, or rather trial, using the button above. And then after you have done that, you wait 14 days and you send an email. You send a copy of your Clickfunnels receipt, right, in an email to me over here at hello@pamabassa.com with the subject, send me Clickfunnels bonuses, please. And my team will get this sent off to you. So once we've checked that everything is valid, we will send you all of the bonuses. So all of the instructions are on this page, as well as all of the amazing bonuses that you will be getting from us. These bonuses are amazing. These are the very things that have helped me to grow my business, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you these bonuses. So the link for this will be below this video, and so make sure you get access to Clickfunnels using my link by clicking on this yellow button. Brilliant. So you know what to do. Grab the link for the bonuses below this video. Now, before we wrap, I want you to check out this video where I share the full video for how to build funnels inside of Clickfunnels. You get to see how I do it and why it's successful. Make sure you check it out right now, and I'll see you in my next video.